name is what? My name is my name is
Guillaume Alexandre.
my name is my name is what? My name is
Guillaume Alexandre.
my name is what? Excuse me. My name is
Guillaume Alexandre.
the attention of the class.
The people attraction theory. Thank you very much. And so that's my training. That's why you have my whatever. If you think you know how to find people on LinkedIn Recruiter, trust me, you don't. And come. Therefore, I'm not going to talk about that today. All right. So get ready for my ADHD friends out there. Please hyper focus because it's going to get fast. Okay. Because I don't have a lot of time and we have shitloads of things to drop today. That's why it's called the big drop. All right, so with my friend Pierre-André, where are you, Pierre-André? Over there. Thank you very much. Once upon a time during COVID, he created a Zoom cafe where all the recruiters would gather. And during the at the end of the first lockdown, we said, oh, we have plenty of tools, and maybe we should do a website with it. And I said, you know what? If we have a second lockdown, we'll do that because we'll have time. Guess what? We had a second lockdown. So back then we were super young, not that young, but we were young, okay, and we started creating a website called freesourcingtools.com that is online, of course, and you're going to hear a lot about it today, where we had plenty of custom search engines that would work marvels and Google spreadsheets that would automatically do things, etc. And then something happened, okay? Then AI came along, and I needed a playground. And I had a website that I had been paying for myself that didn't bring anything, so I said, I'm going to have fun with this. Using Claude first and Gemini and ChatGPT, all of them, etc., because one can code, etc., I started being able to code, and that was cool. All right? So, first things first, all right? This is not even the start of the presentation. What comes after is even... The real stuff comes after. But... has anybody used this? Recruitem, does that ring a bell? It's a tool that is used, an old tool that is shit, but you'd be amazed how many people are still using it, okay? It does Google X-ray for LinkedIn, so you can search LinkedIn profiles on Google, etc. So say goodbye to this. On Free Sourcing Tools, you have one that does it, but doesn't make mistakes and have the PubDear, whatever. It works great, it's entirely free, and you can use. But if you think that's cool, static is easy, but when you use the power of LLMs, you get into custom GPTs, and you can say hello to a custom GPT to search LinkedIn called the LKD X-ray generator, because if you use the word LinkedIn on then they block you. So it's LKD, but it's a secret. It means LinkedIn. All you have to do pretty much is say hello or bonjour if you want to have it in French, okay? And it should work. And you say hello. I knew didn't have a lot of time, so I made it fast, okay? So all you have to do is to say what you're looking for. So I'm just looking for a talent sourcer, all right? And automatically, it's going to pull different types, okay? You can say, what country? But I say, no, add me the French, because I need French people as well, okay? So it's going to add the French. And then you say, it's going to add the target country. Okay, Switzerland. And then you say, all right, I can have, do you want competencies? So I said Boolean, because Boolean apparently was cool. And then, yes, go ahead. So it creates all the things with the Boolean, etc. Are you targeting target companies? So I can put companies, but I can talk, and I can say, map me all the Swiss luxury goods companies. And it's going to map the companies. And it knows that it has to cap to 32 words, because on Google you are limited to 32 words, so it's going to choose the best ones, and it's going to say, what do you want? And you just need to talk, and I say, I want more of this, I want more of that, that's what I want, etc. And in the end, you get a big query like this that is capped to 31 words for this one, and when you click, congratulations, it opens and it works. And you have the recruiters and sources who are working for luxury goods companies in Switzerland. Okay? Entirely free, directly on Free Sourcing Tools. That's cool? All right, let's get another one. To all my Boolean nerds out there, okay, we all love Boolean, and Boolean is amazing, all right? Congratulations, that time is over. You have on free sourcing tool a custom GPT. You also say hello. It's called a Boolean enhancer because I wanted to stay nice. You can either stick a shit Boolean, like anyone, it's going to make it better, okay? So I'm going to say sourcer or sourcing and Geneva or Geneva. Ooh, super advanced. All right, and it's going to be inclusive, it's going to add different things, and you can push it, and you can say related roles and talent scouts and recruitment consultants. And I can say add more, make it bilingual, make it more inclusive. And it's going to do just that, okay? It's going to do sourcer or sourcing or sourcer or sources or recruiters or recruiter or whatever, okay? It's going to do all by itself. And you're not going to miss that space, you know, between the or and the whatever, and I fucked the speech marks and okay? It just works, all right? And then it says, do you want to add like freelance, RPO or consultants? No, I just want to add Suisse romande, okay? It's going to suggest cities. It's going to suggest cities, more cities, and others, so you just guide it. You get your big fat Boolean at the end, all right, and you do whatever you want with it, okay? It works. And so you can improve any Boolean, as many parameters as you want. It's going to ask you, it's going to identify what parameters, like is it the company, is it a technical skill, is it a location, is it whatever. You can push it as much as you want. It can make really big Booleans, no worries. You can start from 0, and you can even say, like, pure text saying, oh, my hiring manager gave me a Java thing to hire for this, and how do I do it? And it's going to work from there, okay? If you think it works, if it doesn't work, there is a contest out there these days called the AI Sourcing Whatever League. The first test is Boolean, like do you master Boolean? I did nothing, okay, which is I copy-pasted the question, and I clicked on, I asked my GPT to say more, like add more to make it as complete as possible. And the results, what? It scored 100 out of 100. So I'm a Boolean master without even knowing how to do Boolean. All right, some tools made by Pierre-André. Sorry, I'm going to check my time because we have so few times. All right, 8 minutes. Tools made by Pierre-André, a OR builder in JavaScript. You need a big OR query, you can stick it in there. He's got a Boolean iterative system, which is, before it was a big fat Google sheet that was hard to use. Now it's like you say what you want, titles, etc., and it's going to say, you know, when you want Java and web dev and everything, but then not SQL and Python. So it's going to give you all the iterative Boolean you can think of. Of course, you can use both and have a big fat Boolean at the beginning, then put an iterative, and then have fun and just do whatever you want. This is free, okay? He's got a Datagma CSV transformer, so you ask him, okay, after. You just pull stuff and it cleans shit out, okay? For the ones using Linked Helper, it also cleans shit out and gives you a great outcome. Not bad for 2 veteran sources, right? All right, before the plat de résistance, because now we can really start, I've got another one. Are you tired of having an algorithm that gives you thing that is shit with influencers saying, what did I learn? What going to the beach taught me about B2B sales? That you're not even following and that you really don't care about, okay? If you go to free sourcing tools, okay, in one click you have something called LinkedIn. It's super easy, okay, but it works a marvel. It's going to give you your level 1 connections and the people you follow, all their posts, by alphabetical order, by chronological order. That's it, like who has posted the latest, so you can check that once a day or several times a day. And all it does, it actually pulls search. The trick is right there at the top, is if you search with nothing, it doesn't work. But if you search with, you don't search nothing, you search everything that has a point at the end, a dot, and then you get the results. So it just pulls you out, one click, it pulls you out this, and you can check. If you want, because now I can make Chrome extensions, it's got its own Chrome extensions that you can give that works perfectly. Okay? Cool. All right. Perfect. 10 minutes. I wanted 10 minutes. Can we start now? All right. Now we're going to talk about proper sourcing. Because this happens. Has anybody used Lovable? Lovable rings a bell? Who has used Lovable? Okay, Lovable is a vibe coding system, which means now you can prompt, and not only can you create nice stuff, but it's going to also create the backend and go and scrape and get the information you want, etc., etc. Okay? All right. We need to talk about mushrooms. For those of you who know me, exactly, and lots of mushrooms back in the days. Where it started with this. It's called behavioral sourcing, which is where is the best place to find a mushroom in the forest?
Next to other mushrooms.
Next to another mushroom. Don't look around for another one. Just look around. If I scrape every single LinkedIn post that you've made, I guarantee you that I'm going to find in the likes all of your colleagues, without having to ask them, do they have a keyword? Because every time you add a keyword, you are discriminating towards the people who don't have a keyword, okay? So that's the whole start of the behavioral sourcing back in the day, all right? But this just got enhanced, let's call it, with AI, all right? I've done anti-doping. This would definitely not pass the test. So I'm introducing to you something that I call behavioral sourcing architecture. All right? Because tools are never going to save you, and now there is no friction anymore between you and the tool you want, because you can create the tool that you need when you need it. All you need to know is what you need to understand and what information you need, okay? And then you're going to be able to create the tool fairly fast. Sometimes it takes up to version 57.2, but it's worth it. But sometimes it's like version 2 and it works already. All right, at the moment I'm with a company called Alice and Bob, okay, which if you've never heard, does quantum computing based on Schrödinger cat's qubits, superconducting, cryogenic and stuff like that. Congratulations to them, because yesterday the person who set up the theory got the Nobel Prize in Physics. Okay, so big congrats to Alice and Bob for this. Yeah. Quantum, all right? When they first came to me and say, we need your help to find R&D people in quantum. I said, quantum is niche. And then I found out that you have 50-something different approach to quantum, and all they care about is one approach, okay? And when you go to LinkedIn and you search for quantum physicist, you get this, which is a postdoc, like, what the, like, gives me zero information. Like, honestly, it could be, the probability of that person being good is I don't know, is 1 in 100. I don't know, okay? So I cannot use LinkedIn as a search tool. Finished, okay? How do you do in sourcing when you cannot use LinkedIn as a search tool nowadays, all right? LinkedIn is gonna have to be my endpoint, so I can then first have everybody into a LinkedIn project on the recruiter side, which makes me GDPR compliant and I can keep it forever. That's a great thing about LinkedIn recruiter projects. Okay, and then I'm gonna be able to, from there, choose locations, choose universities, or choose whatever I want, and filter very easily, okay? So I have my endpoint that's gonna be a LinkedIn recruiter project, okay? And I'm gonna first start with university websites, because on websites of universities at the moment, I'm doing a lot of postdocs, okay? So, that's fine, all right. I could go to every single website of every university that has a different structure and just create, use instant data scraper, or even create a scraper and scrape and everything, but this is so 2018. I am lazy. Now I have ChatGPT that has an agent mode at the bottom, okay? All I do is, here are all the quantum institutes that I want to scrape, and it has integrated directly a web browser. So when I don't need to create a tool, I don't create a tool, okay? If I need to create a tool, I do. And then, so it's gonna go absolutely everywhere. It's gonna give me everybody. It's gonna find the solution, and I don't need to create a scraper. It's gonna give me the solution, okay? Let's give it a second. Come on, be fast, please. You're running out. Just checking the time. That's fine, we're good. All right, so see, I have the information. The information gives me into a certain format, all right, which is fine because I'm gonna clean it afterwards. It gives me that information, okay, but I get a dirty list of names that I'm gonna need to clean. So I made a name cleaner, which is dump any shit that you want in it. It's gonna pull you the names. So that can be like, you can see like the adresse de courriel and something, which means email address and some shit, etc. So drop shit, get clean stuff out afterwards. All right, super easy, super efficient, because then I'm gonna need, and if I need to get out, if I get out of my, be that a deep research on an LLM or something, and lots of different things, okay, I'm gonna need to restructure my information. Best way to restructure information, if you've never used NotebookLM, which is part of the Google Suite And if you are a paid user of Google, you get also that free into your suite. It's absolutely amazing. You stick your sources on one side, and then you say what type of format you need it to be. So it can be a lot of different formats, etc. And you say, give me a table with the name of the universities, the name of the person, the postdoc, the description of the search they're doing, and the URLs that goes with it. And it pulls me out the exact thing that I want out of up to 300 different sources. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, but then I have universities. I'm scraping or I'm using an agent. I'm using a name cleaner. I've got names, all right? Names is good. And I could go to LinkedIn and I could type on top the name of the guy and try and find a solution, etc. But it's going to be boring, all right? So back in the day, we had an Excel spreadsheet to do that. That would automatically regenerate the search queries on LinkedIn directly and on Google for X-ray search directly, because Google will be slightly different and would give better results, etc., etc. So I made a tool for it. And I made a tool where you have the name cleaner. It's on free sourcing tools, of course. You just stick your shitty list of names, okay? To avoid homonyms, because I'm not the only Guillaume Alexandre out of this world, surprisingly enough. But if you put sourcing at the bottom, like if you know all your people are quantum, you just put the word quantum or quantique or whatever. And it's going to create the searches for LinkedIn Recruiter, for LinkedIn via Google. You can also use it for GitHub and for Stack Overflow. Nobody uses Stack Overflow anymore, but that's fine, okay? So it's going to create, you see the queries at the bottom, you stick them into a bulk URL opener that is also on free sourcing tools for free with a delay that I created on top, okay? And if you think that's cool, yeah, you think that's cool, you have seen nothing, all right? Look at this, all right? Now I have made a system made with Lovable. All you need is your Google API, okay? So there is a link about how to get your Google API. You stick the names of the people you want, all right? And look what it does. It's gonna automatically get you the first 4 results of the Google results in case there is somebody that comes on top because they've got a better SEO. Sometimes it's in the second column, but you can use Notebook LM to then clean your data, etc. And you get, in general, about 80 to 90% accuracy, so from names automatically, and you do between about 5 names a second, okay? It has a cost. It's not free once you put your API. It's $5 for 1,000 queries. That's still, I can still afford that, okay? Bearing in mind the first 100 per day are free, okay? So, I have my university towards names, okay? I have my names to LinkedIn URL, then I have something to bring it to LinkedIn Recruiter, but that you find a solution. I'm not going to give you everything. And now I have research, okay? So I have authors or professors' research name, etc. And in the university, in the research business, you need to give the authors, okay? And if you have published something, my managers don't care about the LinkedIn profile. All they care is publications, okay? Finding publications at scale is a pain, okay? Because you need to go one by one. But now, it's over. For anything, anybody knows something called Arxiv, which is where you have the results. I have the name of the people I'm interested in. I know they do quantum. And you're going to see that all I need to do is to select. They look cool, my tools, no? I think they look super cool. I just select physics, I select quantum physics, and I select also superconductive because it's also superconductivity. And then I just, it's going to clean the names in case there is a PhD name somewhere, everything is going to first clean the names automatically. And automatically, it is going to pull every single research they've done, okay, one by one. So they published 22 papers, 23 papers. It's going to come. 0 papers. It's logical because I had the word postdoc, so the postdoc hasn't created anything. But Ilian has done 18 papers, etc., 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 which I can then get out of CSV, of Excel, of PDF, of whatever I want, because I made the export tools as well. All right, so I have my names. I have all of their publications, which is great. I know what they've published. I can clean it. I can get an AI to just check, is it really about cat qubits and things like this, okay? Authors are great, but what I really want is co-authors. Like, who have they worked with? And that system, called Discover Research Network Co-Authors, you just stick, literally, the name of the people. That's for Donatien, because that's the people in his company. He's also doing Quantum at the moment. And look, it's putting absolutely every single research they've done and all the co-authors of all the research, okay, automatically. And it's going to give me a CSV. Oh, at the end, you should, oh, sorry. All right. I need to show you that you get a CSV. Otherwise, it's boring. Do you understand why I'm doing this? Okay, I need names of the co-authors of the publications to be able to understand who does publications in this. It's because I have a problem. All I want to show you is I can build stuff fast. Okay, you have no more problems. So see, I can see all the people that they've done, and if there is a company they're affiliated with, like a university or anything, it would come. This is more of an industry stuff, so it would come directly there. Okay, and look how many people you can expand very fast. Pretty impressive. I also have a tool that I haven't included because nobody cares but me, which is how knowledge spreads, all right? Because if I have done a paper, all right, then somebody else later on will reference that paper, and that is also in the API. And yes, I have a way to find all the papers, and therefore all the authors, and therefore all the co-authors, and therefore expand everything. And I can guarantee you that out of the 7 cat qubits original papers, there is 3,764 different persons who have ever published in the world about this. So this is my talent pool. This is my talent pool, okay? No one else. That's all the people who have published on this and created this, okay? Expanding it, because the great thing is that then it all links all together. Sorry, I'm just checking the time, not to get Bass angry. I can get also likers, commenters on LinkedIn, etc. For those of you who've seen my 2015 growth hacking resourcing thing, you use stuff like Phantom Buster and Wallaxy, and I know exactly who has ever commented or liked anything from the company, for example. And because everything is now back into LinkedIn Recruiter, I can say who has published and liked something from the company. Okay? So I can say who has one or several behavior that correspond to the persona that I belong to, who has worked with a certain professor, published something, and liked something about the company. And when I contact them, officially, it comes there. Same with conference lists. Okay, I love conference lists at the moment. All right, I get them, don't ask how. And then I have conference lists, therefore names, now I have LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I put everything into LinkedIn Recruiter. I have different projects, and I play with my projects. Okay, I don't care if LinkedIn is empty, all right? You can have literally your name and once the word quantum, that's enough for me, and I can show to the manager that person based there apparently graduated, because usually you have the PhD date, and I can tell you they've published this, worked with that person, like the company, etc., etc. Okay, so LinkedIn my end point and not my starting point. You have your behavior, okay? This is just one thing that you can do that I'm doing at the moment with R&D, okay? But at the moment, everybody is spending millions in super intelligence, AI people, etc. I can guarantee you they're all using Hugging Face, which is like the GitHub for machine learning. I haven't dug into it entirely because I don't have a client that needs that at the moment, so why spend the hours? But I have made the exploration. I can tell you it works, okay? You can get models, people, because in people you have the names. Once you have the names, now you're sorted, and you can really have fun with that. The API is pretty open, and Flavien here, who has asked the CTO, and the CTO is kind of okay for us to play with it. Okay? All right. What do you think? Cool? I told you it was technical and it was going to go fast. Okay? All right. Here comes Magic Pierre-André again. Magic Pierre-André is coming as a superhero. And Magic Pierre-André has created, on free sourcing tools, bookmarklets for sourcing automation. Okay? And this coincides as well with behavioral sourcing, because if you go to a meetup about Java or whatever, probably you don't work at the post office. Okay? Sorry? Yeah, exactly. And last night he has made a Chrome extension on top of that. Congratulations, Pierre-André. And he explains you everything about how to scrape attendees, bearing in mind nowadays when you go into Meetup, you don't see the names if you don't pay, except with his tool. and it's free, and it's on free sourcing tools. Okay, so you get the meetups and everything. He also has, as a bookmarklet, now his all builder that I talked to you before, now is also a bookmarklet. Is it in the extension? Okay. That's not in the extension. You have to put it yourself. You have to click one button. Sorry for you guys. All right, he's done a LinkedIn Sales Navigator, like you search by companies and job titles in bulk directly. And he's created like a bookmarklet to generate LinkedIn profile searches, like kind of the one that I was creating before with the X-ray, but as a bookmarklet. If you want to know how it works, he's over there. Not my fault. Okay? All right? And just to finish, one more thing. I made an extension with absolutely all the tools. Because now that I have all the tools, I can create an extension. And you go to the Google Chrome store, and it's absolutely free, of course. We don't collect names, we don't collect anything, okay? All we say is, if you want, you can add your email address so that one day we send an email to say we have new tools. I don't think we've ever done it, to be honest. We're not very much business-oriented, to be honest. And so you have most of the tools plus access directly to free sourcing tools directly on there. You have the LinkedIn to have your LinkedIn profile that is clean, the X-ray search, the everything, it brings you everywhere, and it works, okay? Last word, on free sourcing tools, maybe there are some even hidden tools, because I hide, like, we come from a hacking background, so we hackathon style. Maybe there are tools about how to use hidden operators on LinkedIn Recruiter and do things much more, but I'm not going to explain that today. You have to come to training for that. Okay?
Hi, my name is what? My name is
Guillaume Alexandre.
my name is what? My name is
Guillaume,
You did it again.
You said I had 30 minutes. I did it in 28.
Yeah,
I am fast. Okay?
I'm impressed. You guys are impressed too? Yeah, cool. Any questions for Guillaume? And please use the comments section in the app if you're shy. Any questions in the room for Guillaume? I think everybody wants to run to the foyer and get a laptop out and install the extension.
I've just heard there is a tech maggot or whatever it's called, the thingy. So if you want to get your laptops out and play on free sourcing tools, and if you struggle, come and ask. But you should see, it's pretty cool. Feel free, the LinkedIn X-ray, anybody you know who is kind of looking for a job and they don't know how to search on LinkedIn, etc., give them this, okay? Just so you know, in the LinkedIn algorithm, all right? Let's say that with Shamila we are connected, all right? If I am not paying LinkedIn and I'm looking for a sourcer, the simple fact that we are connected brings her to the 4th page's results, okay? She gets a penalty for us being connected. Why that? For a simple reason is that if I go to LinkedIn as a non-paying member and I look for a sourcer and I find Shamila, I'm like, oh, LinkedIn is shit, I always see the same people in the first 2 pages, I know them all. LinkedIn giving you, oh, it's people you don't know, so people who are connected with Shamila, who are sources, you think, oh my God, it's always brand new, therefore you're going to start to pay premium. And you're going to give them money, okay? So for somebody who is looking for a job, all your clients that you're connected with are going to see all your competitors when they look for a recruiter and not you. Just fun stuff. So feel free, that hasn't got an X-ray, would not have this, and would be able to go much deeper than the simple search for free results, okay? Any other questions? I'm happy to answer.
Please make a note of that. Okay. Thank you very much, Guillaume.